unlike closed cell spray foam, open cell spray foam has a much lower R value per inch, but it's fairly consistent. So it's about equivalent to cellulose in filling a cavity. So right, we're going to get an R12 wall with the cellulose or with this open cell spray foam. Unlike closed cell high density spray foam, right? It doesn't have that high in R value. It's also soft, so it's easier to trim. So high density spray foam, if we look here, you'll notice that we tried to stay about 1/2 inch to 1 inch shy of the interior surface because we're going to want to attach drywall right here, and we don't want it to bump up against this. And unlike this soft open cell spray foam, this stuff is really hard to cut. You got to get a big saw blade, and you're going to work really hard to cut it. So you want to avoid that trimming required. Here, trimming is actually quite easy to do. People often do it with like curry combs for horses. So it has some of the same benefits. It can work as a really good air barrier because it's going to seal. It's basically a glue, and it's going to seal to all the interior surfaces. It also has a different performance, which is that it is vapor open, or more vapor open than the closed cell spray foam. So if you want an assembly that's going to be able to dry, you might want something that's vapor open, like an open cell spray foam. However, you also want to make sure that it doesn't allow moisture through in a place where you don't want it. So for instance, back in the early 2000s, people were putting this spray foam into roof assemblies and treating it as though it were this closed cell spray foam. And the open cell spray foam was allowing moisture to get through it all the way to this to the roof deck, where it was accumulating moisture which could not escape, and then you got a lot of roof rot. So open cell spray foam is an appropriate and really excellent infill material that you could use in walls, and is probably not appropriate for ceilings unless it's part of a bigger assembly that might include closed cell spray foam, or that might include some sort of impermeable, air impermeable board foam material, or some other impermeable structure anyway. But it can be really good in a double stud wall. So you can imagine this same cavity here, right, that's now filled with cellulose, which obviously is my preference. I'm a big fan of cellulose. But you could imagine it also filled with open cell spray foam.